All right, hello, my name is Caleb Fine. Today I will be discussing the Southwest Transit Project benchmark. So our agenda for this presentation, we're going to go through a few main topics. There's team member selection, assessment of those team members' strengths and weaknesses, key motivation and management strategies, embodiment of conscious capitalism, and then lastly, stakeholder value. Our first topic is team member selection. So after much deliberation, the four candidates who have been selected to form the Southwest Transit Project team are Natalie, Doug, Elizabeth, and William. These people have been selected because they form a heterogeneous group composition. Each person possesses a unique set of skills and personality traits that are believed to positively contribute to the team dynamics, drive performance outcomes, and maximize productivity. Here are the primary reasons why each person was selected. Beginning with Natalie, she's a natural charismatic leader. Her superb interpersonal and communication skills enable her to rally her teammates towards a common goal. Her skills in persuasion and negotiation help her to spur her teammates towards action. Next, we have Doug. Doug is a hard worker. He produces high quality and timely work, and he is dependable when it comes to important tasks that are time sensitive. He will ensure that deadlines are always met, and he will keep the project on track by producing work that is efficient and consistent. Next, we have Elizabeth. Elizabeth is our team player. She enjoys collaboration and listening to others' ideas. She's diplomatic and skilled in easing tensions and resolving disputes. She is also a big picture thinker. She's able to help her team refocus when they get off track, which everybody does. And so Elizabeth is a key team member in that respect. And then lastly, we have William. William is highly experienced. He has been with the company for more than 4 years, and he is nearing retirement, so he has plenty of experience and knowledge to share with the rest of the team. He also has many other great qualities. He's a team player. He's willing to help wherever help is needed, and he is also sympathetic and has high emotional intelligence. It was difficult to come to a decision regarding team selection because there are several configurations among all 10 candidates that could work. Some candidates were easy to eliminate, but several stood out, and it was clear that they would be a great fit for this team. For example, Bob's expertise and extensive knowledge of the company was appealing and was something that no other candidate could offer. Caitlin's high standards and drive to succeed are unmatched among all the candidates. And so although they weren't selected, the management team firmly believes that this specific composition is optimal due to its heterogeneity and its complementary nature of its members' strengths and weaknesses. As for the team member that was most difficult to come to a consensus about, that was Doug. He had some glaring weaknesses, and there was a clear potential for those weaknesses to negatively impact the team. Although he will clearly benefit the team by producing high quality and timely work, he does have difficulty controlling his emotions and can sometimes lash out in high pressure situations. This does pose a concern that he may be a source of destructive conflict on the team. Ultimately, though, Doug was selected because no other candidate possesses his strengths at the same level. Fortunately, his weaknesses are complemented by the various strengths of his teammates. For example, we have Elizabeth. Her ability to listen and effectively diffuse conflict is helpful in addressing Doug's weaknesses. William's ability to sympathize and interpret others' emotions, and then Natalie's strong communication skills. All of those strengths work together to kind of diffuse and counteract Doug's profound weaknesses. Next, moving on to the assessment of each person's strengths and weaknesses, tying into that first topic that we just discussed. The management team sought out to select a group whose individual strengths balanced others' weaknesses. The goal was to form a well-rounded team that, in spite of their individual weaknesses, could come together to perform exceptionally and do great work by applying their strengths. Each selected individual has a unique set of strengths and weaknesses. Beginning with Natalie, her unique strength is her ability to lead and take charge. She is charismatic, persuasive, communicative, skilled in negotiation, confident, and outspoken. Her ambitious nature will compel the team to accomplish their goals. People look to her as a natural leader and as somebody who can be trusted to point the team in the right direction. Next, we have Doug. Doug's primary strength is his hardworking mentality and commitment to team objectives. Doug's known to produce high quality and timely work. He is always determined to meet deadlines and overall displays a high level of commitment and contribution towards his assigned tasks. With Doug on the team, progress towards completion of tasks will be constant, and his hardworking mentality will likely encourage others to work hard and discourage behaviors that veer the project off course. Moving on to Elizabeth, her primary strengths are her ability to listen to others and resolve problems that arise on the team. She's open-minded and invites varying perspectives. She's collaborative and enjoys working with other people, and she is skilled in handling matters of conflict through diplomacy. Elizabeth's presence on the team is essential in situations when team members butt heads and struggle to find resolutions or compromises, which is inevitable on any team. There will always be conflict. Elizabeth can step in to mediate and prompt constructive conversations that will build and maintain relationships on the team and ensure that the team can synergize and effectively work together without falling apart due to mishandled conflict. And lastly, we have William. William's main strengths are his expertise and his ability to sympathize with others. William has long been an employee for Southwest and knows the ins and outs of company protocol and of the industry better than anyone else on the team and out of all the candidates as well. His ability to emotionally connect with others brings a very gentle human component to the team and will ensure that relationships remain a priority. His positive and easygoing nature will keep the atmosphere of the team lighthearted and cheery, despite the immense pressure on the team to perform well in this short window of time. Now, although all of these are exceptional strengths, there are a few notable weaknesses which the management team carefully considered and sought to ensure could be resolved by other members' strengths. For example, Natalie's primary weakness is her overly competitive nature. While she can get carried away when she tries to identify ways to have her individual ideas and accomplishments shine through, Elizabeth can step in to remind her of the bigger picture and what the team's overarching goals are. So that's just an example of how Elizabeth is able to address Natalie's weakness. And this is something that the management team sought to ensure that every member's weaknesses were counteracted by at least one other team member's strength. We have Doug's weaknesses, which are numerous. Profoundly or prominently, there's his temper, his defensiveness, and his tendency to overreact. These were perhaps the most concerning weaknesses the management team considered in the process of selecting these individuals. Doug has difficulty controlling his emotions and can let them get out of hand with relative ease. Luckily, though, we have Elizabeth and we have William. Elizabeth is great at listening and will thoroughly listen to Doug's perspective before advising a response. This will comfort Doug because he will know his concerns are being heard and thoughtfully considered by somebody else on the team. William's strength of sympathy will help Doug because William will be patient and be willing to converse with Doug to understand what is wrong and find a way to make it right. Elizabeth's greatest weakness, on the other hand, is her hesitation to develop new skills and branch out into new and unfamiliar territory. Now, Natalie can step in and help with this because she is persuasive and she'll be able to encourage Elizabeth and motivate her to try new things she may not be comfortable with. Because Natalie is very compelling and she's very good at getting people to kind of understand her side and understand her perspective. She's very convincing. And then lastly, we have William. His greatest weakness is his tendency to complete projects in an untimely manner. Doug is proficient in this area and prioritizes timely completion of tasks more than anybody else on the team. Doug will be able to assist William with this weakness and encourage him to work hard and strive to complete tasks in a timely manner like him. Ultimately, the management team is highly confident that this precise team configuration is optimal for this critical project. Each individual has been chosen very intentionally because of the unique strengths and weaknesses they possess and the great extent to which they complement each other's strengths and weaknesses on the team. Moving on to motivation and management strategies. Firstly, we have a key motivational strategy for this specific team. Adopting a proper motivational strategy is crucial for the success of any project. Short or long term, building motivation will ensure that the team members engage in behaviors that are driving the project forward and yielding high levels of performance. Engaging in behaviors that are not in favor of the project's success will set back the entire team and may have extremely negative outcomes in this scenario across the company if the project is not successful in the end. An important motivational strategy to consider draws upon the expectancy theory. There are two important aspects of this theory. Firstly, we have effort to performance expectancy, and there's performance to outcome expectancy. So we're going to define those really quickly. Effort to performance expectancy is a person's perception of the probability that effort will lead to successful performance. Performance to outcome expectancy, on the other hand, is a person's perception of the probability that performance will lead to certain other outcomes. Simply put, the more someone can expect for high levels of effort to lead to high performance and for high performance to lead to high outcomes, the more motivated they will be to work hard and consistently produce high quality and timely work. It's important to maintain a high level of expectancy on this project team, because otherwise the work seems grueling and mundane, and team members feel that their contributions are not having an impact on the overall outcomes of the team. They will quickly lose motivation. So it's very important to maintain that motivation by implementing strategies such as this expectancy theory strategy. Moving on to a conflict resolution strategy for this team. Conflict resolution is essential for any team, especially those that contain headstrong individuals who feel very strongly about and hold to their opinions. Elizabeth is clearly the team member who's the most skilled in this area, but all team members can benefit from adopting conflict resolution strategies and implementing them. One in particular involves practicing the 4 areas of skill development of conflict resolution. Those are listening, questioning, communicating nonverbally, and mediating. Listening includes keeping eye contact, rephrasing, and summarize what each side says to demonstrate an understanding of each side's position. Questions should be open rather than leading. Demonstrating the ability to read nonverbal cues shows that a person is sincerely trying to help and is attentive during conflict resolution conversations. And then lastly, mediation involves demonstrating open-mindedness, staying non-judgmental and calm, and demonstrating empathy and sensitivity, remaining neutral, respecting confidentiality, and lastly, showing flexibility and resiliency. That's it for conflict resolution strategy. Lastly, we have leadership strategy. Now, leadership is crucial for any team, big or small. It should be known that leadership and management are two very different things. Management pertains to assigning and directing tasks to ensure maximum performance and efficiency within an organization. Now, leadership pertains to the influence a certain person or people have on others and how they motivate and inspire others to work for a cause of their own will. That is key, rather than under the pressure of management. Leadership plays an important role in establishing direction, aligning people, motivating and inspiring, and producing change. With this considered, a specific leadership approach that would be immensely beneficial for this team is charismatic leadership. This type of leadership focuses on the trait of charisma, which by definition is a form of interpersonal attraction that inspires support and acceptance. That keyword is inspire. That is what distinguishes leadership from management. Robert House's theory concerning charismatic leadership proposes that charismatic leaders are likely to have a lot of self-confidence, firm confidence in their beliefs and ideals, and a strong need to influence people. A true charismatic leader will draw people who will follow their lead without question and will dedicate themselves to carrying out the leader's decisions and policies with fervor. That's the end of the motivation and management strategy section. Recommendations for the best strategies for this unique team composition. Moving on, how does this team and how do these team members embody conscious capitalism? Conscious capitalism is a modern approach to business that guides business owners toward an enhanced way of doing business that benefits all stakeholders in a socially responsible manner. At the heart of conscious capitalism are 4 tenets, all of which the management team firmly believes the selected team embodies. The first tenet is a higher purpose. Although a significant purpose of Southwest is profitability, just like any other company, and just to clarify, conscious capitalism does not denounce profitability as a primary goal of a company. Of course, any company should have the goal of profitability. Otherwise, the company can't be a company. This company does have a distinct higher purpose, or I'm sorry, this project has a distinct higher purpose, which is quite literally saving the company. This reflects a greater, more noble mission beyond a simple one-off project. This is a very critical project. Hundreds of jobs and livelihoods are at stake, and there's potential for many lives to be negatively affected as a result of the failure of this project. The combination of the unique strengths and weaknesses of these individuals will yield a powerful synergy that the management team is confident will pair well with the higher purpose they are being called to. Second, a core tenet of conscious capitalism is stakeholder orientation. Stakeholder orientation focuses on the need for businesses to create value for the stakeholders. This involves orienting the entire company in its mission statement to the best interests of all who are affected by the business. This emergency that Southwest is facing demands stakeholder orientation. Hundreds of employees are at risk of being laid off due to the decline of the company. Employees are the key stakeholders in this situation, and the outcomes of this project will have a distinct impact on them. Because the selected team members are employees themselves, and the outcomes of the project have potential to affect them negatively as well, the team members feel the immense pressure of this project and will work extremely hard, knowing their contributions are essential to the continuation of the company and knowing what is at stake with regard to the employees. Third, conscious leadership is an important aspect of conscious capitalism. Conscious leaders understand and embrace the higher purpose of business and focus on creating value for and harmonizing the interests of the business stakeholders. Fortunately, Natalie, the distinct leader of the selected team, possesses qualities of a conscious leader, and her charismatic nature strongly suggests that she will embrace the higher purpose of the project and of the company. And lastly, a conscious culture is crucial to establish as well. That's our fourth tenet. The unique feature of a conscious culture is that the company intentionally develops a culture that promotes their values and purpose. The conscious culture focuses on nurturing the well-being of all its stakeholders, most notably its employees. This could not be more applicable in this situation because employees are a huge focus behind this project. The selected team members demonstrate a high level of awareness and concern for the well-being of themselves and their many fellow employees. And lastly, we're going to discuss stakeholder value. There are many ways in which this project will create value for Southwest stakeholders. If the project is successful, the team will positively impact the business immensely by ensuring the survival and continuation of business operations, despite this major obstacle that they have encountered. Customers will be impacted because they rely on Southwest as a mode of national and even international aerial transportation. Southwest is known for its convenient, affordable flights and its emphasis on adhering to customer-specific needs. Without Southwest, these loyal customers will be forced to consider alternate companies that may not suit their needs as well as Southwest does. Customers that exclusively travel with Southwest will be impacted the most and will be unsettled by such a sudden shift in available travel accommodations. Another key stakeholder is other companies that are supported by Southwest. This includes flight booking websites, airports, commercial airplane manufacturers, and many, many more. Those are just a few examples. These companies profit greatly and have a mutually beneficial relationship with Southwest. They provide supplies and bring business to Southwest. In exchange, Southwest funds these companies and enables them to continue their operations and grow. Some of these companies may be thriving strictly due to their relationship with Southwest. If Southwest goes under, these companies may fail as well and cause a ripple effect in the economy that has the potential to cause hundreds, if not thousands, of layoffs across all companies that largely depend on business from Southwest. Lastly, this project will create immense value for Southwest employees. These unfortunate circumstances put hundreds of employees at risk of being laid off. It has the potential to destroy livelihoods and remove the support that is keeping families literally off of the street. This project is critical because its success will ensure that hundreds of families may continue to live comfortably with a roof over their heads and food on their tables. To wrap up, these are only a few of the many stakeholders that are significantly impacted by Southwest, both in and outside the business. The success of this project will have a widespread positive impact on an unfathomable number of people. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our presentation. Here are the references. Thank you for listening.